Good morning again, and welcome to the Backpacktrader Training Room Crude Oil Inventory Report session for Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. All right. Less than a minute to go before, about 45 seconds before the report comes out. I did transition to the October unleaded chart. September crude, 8 cent momentum bar, 8 tick range bar, depending on your platform, for spotlight crude on the right, 20 tick range bar, 0.002 momentum bar for unleaded on the upper left, also on spotlight. And the report just came out. Right there is our low reaction, and that's our high reaction at the moment. Not much activity. We'll look for a new setup there. There's a short setup on the unleaded chart. That's I would say that's more a reaction. We will see. Another 45 seconds, 40 seconds before we'll start taking trades. $377 tick crude chart on and there's a new short trade, even smaller, that triggered in. And now our low end and push down slightly. And we are in our long setup and a short setup on the 377. Unleaded's flat, and on spotlight crude is flat. Short on the 377 crude. Counterpunch. Short setup on unleaded. Short setup on crude. Put 2-position trade in there. And we trigger into the short target 1, target 2. Get our stop in place. Looks like we got to money management and stopped out for a partial. And now we have a new short on the 377 tick. Unleaded getting money management and target 1, it would appear. 61.41. We went to 61.40, so yes. Money management, target 1 traders will be one and done. Target 2 traders will be one and done now. Picking up target 2. Target 1 was worth 55 ticks. Target 2, 84. 161 for the stop. We did trigger into the short on the 377. We hit money management and should have stopped out if I had moved the. So I'll have to track this manually now. 80.58. And it stops out for a break even. And we also stop and reverse on the 377 at 63. And this is going to be a long trade with an up close at 73. I'll go ahead and put the order in. Here's your oversold. And there it is, triggering in. And now you see the value of anticipating the trade a little bit, knowing your strategy. I was able to get ahead of that trade so that I knew it was coming and where it was coming. All right, unleaded trailing out at 131. So unleaded is done. We did go long and we did get to target 2 and stopped out just shy of target 2. 11 tick target 2. It looks like we got 8 ticks on the trailer. Crypticon, which chart are you looking at? CL, what chart? Because you're putting on a bunch of contracts if you had if you made 1,200. Because we just got a break even on that first trade on Spotlight. Now if you need another trade on the 377, the short at 74, I don't know if that'll be positive yet or not. And we are back to the entry on Spotlight. Okay, still cruising around, and then the long not doing too well, or the short rather not doing too well in 377. Still cruising around in positive territory on the Spotlight chart, but now we're going to need to push through the 200 EMA to get to money management and target. Stop and reverse potential, stop and reverse adjustment keeps you in it at 86. So we're still in the short, still in this original short over here. And now we have a stop and reverse short. That's at 69. So we'll make that a stop market, and we'll bring our stop up to there. So we've got a 4-tick risk on this trade. Cuts our risk down to, and reverses to short. Okay, I'm going to push these targets down because stop and reverse adjust brings the money management down to 59. Stop on the 377 is up at 91. and we take a full stop out. That is trade number 3. Pick up a break even, a small stop and reverse loss, and then a full loss for a losing session, 3 trades. Unleaded was a one and done. And we are still actually in this original short trade way back here, because we avoided this long stop and reverse with the stop and reverse adjustment. So we're not in this short, we're actually in the prior short. Lackluster session this morning, and looks like we finally did stop. Yep, we stopped out at on our 91. So then we pick up this short. Actually, no, we come down to this short that didn't trigger in, so we are flat. And crude now moving up. All right, questions? Spotlight losing session, unfortunately. Unleaded making a solid win. And kind of a tough session. If you may have gotten positive back in here, but after that it kind of goes to heck. get in that long trade that stops and reverses into the short trade that we stayed in for a long time, but ultimately stopped out right there. So, questions or comments? That was once it decided to do something, it did it pretty quickly. Alright, now we're in a long trade on the 377. That's just kind of going flat. We're right at the session open, and that's just a 10 tick. That big trade loss is going to make it tough to get positive. The 377 counterpunch is the only thing still active. Spotlight Crude had its 3 trades. If you took the 4th, you just got to target 1 right there. That's the 20 SMA trade. Now see where this trade goes on the 377 tick, and once it completes, we'll call it a day. Okay, stop at 94. And target at 18 from entry at 08. So we got a 14 tick risk and 10 tick target. Not getting it kind of a little active, but not doing much. Getting a bunch of trades in a pretty tight range. And that's not good, breaking the 50 EMA like that. Back to the session open, basically. Down to 80.99 it looks like. Five ticks above the stop. And stopping out of the long trade on Crude at 81.04. If you're trading 5 or 6 and need another one to get positive, you have a short trade at 80.99. I'd push that to 98. It came right to the entry. And now we have a stop and reverse short at 80.99. So that's 89 key level adjust to 80.97. Right there. Ooh. And that is right above the 200 EMA. With the stop at 94, I think that's where I would take that entry. It's another 3 ticks, but not a good place to hide it. You got the 200 EMA there. There's 99. So it would come down to 84, target 3. So yeah, that's too small a trade to deal with. So that's just an exit point. You end up with the full stop out at 94. Target 3 would be your target if you didn't adjust below didn't leave the trade alone at having to adjust below the 200 EMA. It hasn't even 87, so it just hit money management exactly. And target would be 84. And there's your target at 84. Crude breaking down, or at least on the 377. Starting to come down too, showing unleaded coming down as well. And stopping out on the trailer at 86. So that is going to wrap it. That's going to be a losing session on the 377. Not a good day for crude. And we will come back to it again tomorrow morning at 9:30. Hope everyone has a good afternoon. Questions or comments before I take it down? You're quite welcome, Krista. You have a good day yourself. Have a good one, Pamela. Now, I've heard from Canada and from England, Great Britain. I hadn't heard much from the U.S. today. Everyone have a good afternoon. We will see you tomorrow at 9:30. 9:30 Eastern. Have a good one.